The White House has drafted an executive order for President Donald Trump's signature that would open an investigation into the practices of Google, Facebook and other social media companies. The order, which officials say is still in its preliminary stages and has yet to be run by other law enforcement agencies, instructs U.S. antitrust authorities to thoroughly investigate whether any online platform has acted in violation of the antitrust laws. The goal of the order is to protect competition among online platforms and address online platform biases. While the draft obtained by Bloomberg doesn't name any companies specifically, it is understood to target social media entities such as Facebook, Google, and Twitter, which Trump has repeatedly accused of silencing conservative voices and news sources. Trump hinted at his plan to address possible bias within media companies in a tweet last month, writing, "Social media is totally discriminating against Republican conservative voices." Speaking loudly and clearly for the Trump administration, "We won't let that happen. They are closing down the opinions of many people on the right, while at the same time, doing nothing to others." Days later, Trump slammed Google for not highlighting his State of the Union speech on its front page despite having always done so for President Obama. However, that claim was found to be false as Google did in fact promote the address just as it had for Trump's predecessor. Share this article. Top officials from Twitter and Facebook testified before Congress earlier this month, maintaining that the sites did not make any intentional efforts to censor views from the right nor the left. Still, the Justice Department announced the same day that Attorney General Jeff Sessions would meet with state attorneys general to determine if tech companies are intentionally stifling free speech on their platforms. The Attorney General has convened a meeting with a number of state attorneys general this month to discuss a growing concern that these companies may be hurting competition and intentionally stifling the free exchange of ideas on their platforms, a Justice Department spokesman said. More concerning than the political aspect of the drafted executive order is the antitrust aspect, which could end up costing companies millions. Google, Facebook and other sites have been accused of anti-competitive behavior by pundits on both sides of the aisle. The companies have argued that they do in fact face robust competition, and especially given that many of their products are free. Full executive order. Draft executive order to protect competition and small businesses from bias in online platforms by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, and in order to protect American consumers and workers and encourage competition in the U.S. economy, it is hereby ordered as follows. Section 1. Policy. Online platforms are central to American commerce and the free flow of news and information. Whether reading news or looking for local businesses, citizens rely on search, social media, and other online platforms to provide objective and reliable information to shape a host of decisions ranging from consumer purchases to votes in elections. Because of their critical role in American society, it is essential that American citizens are protected from anti-competitive acts by dominant online platforms. Vibrant competition in the online ecosystem is essential to ensuring accountability for the platforms that hold so much sway over our economy and democratic process. Can expand this section, if necessary, to provide more detail on role of platforms and the importance of competition. Section 2. Agency responsibilities. A. Executive departments and agencies with authorities that could be used to enhance competition among online platforms. Agencies shall, where consistent with other laws, use those authorities to promote competition and ensure that no online platform exercises market power in a way that harms consumers, including through the exercise of bias. B. Agencies with authority to investigate anti-competitive conduct shall thoroughly investigate whether any online platform has acted in violation of the antitrust laws, as defined in subsection A of the first section of the Clayton Act, 15 U.S.C. 12, or any other law intended to protect competition. C. Should an agency learn of possible or actual anti-competitive conduct by a platform that the agency lacks the authority to investigate and/or prosecute, the matter should be referred to the Antitrust Division of the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Competition of the Federal Trade Commission. D. Not later than 30 days from the date of this order, agencies shall submit to the Director of the National Economic Council an initial list of 1. Actions each agency can potentially take to protect competition among online platforms and address online platform bias. 2. Any relevant authorities and tools potentially available to enhance competition among and protect the users of online platforms. E. Not later than 60 days from the date of this order, agencies shall report to the President, through the Director of the National Economic Council, recommendations on agency-specific actions in response to paragraphs D of this section. Such recommendations shall include a list of priority actions, including rulemakings, as well as timelines for completing those actions. Section 3. General Provisions. A. This order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriations. B. Independent agencies are strongly encouraged to comply with the requirements of this order. C. Nothing in this order shall be construed to impair or otherwise affect I. The authority granted by law to a department or agency, or the head thereof, or IA, the functions of the Director of the Office of Management and Budget relating to budgetary, administrative, or legislative proposals. D. This order is not intended to, and does not, create any right or benefit, substantive or procedural, enforceable at law, or in equity by any party against the United States, its departments, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agents, or any other person.